are listening to the Group Chat Podcast.
Just let it eat.
Raw dog. Let it eat.
Just raw dog and a can of green beans,
Getting my vitamins, brother. Let's do it.
Brandon just canceled our live stream for the hurricane. He said, nope, I canceled the Group Chat hurricane stream.
Well, sorry. I mean, we tried.
Be on the lookout for a possible hurricane live stream with the group chat, depending on how bad it gets. But
Tommy, let me ask you this. Are you willing to take one for the team if it's raining in New Orleans and go outside with like a coat on and pretend to be Cantori?
Ron the face solid.
I'm not going into the city by any means.
We're not asking you to put yourself in danger. Would you just be willing to make a fool of yourself like I'm willing to do?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, isn't that what we're doing right now?
Like, I'm more than willing to like come here for the rain event, go outside and like get rained on and have my little fancy mic. Hey, bro, we're reporting live from Cutoff during Dexter. And like, I'm willing to do that. Are you?
Absolutely.
So we got two locations covered. The group chat is going to bring you all of the Dexter coverage.
Let's talk Dexter. Is this anything to be worried about?
No.
Okay, if this wasn't the first storm in the Gulf all year, would anybody even give a shit about this one?
Probably not. But this is not something for people that are in good situations to worry about. But we do still have some Ida damaged issues. We do still, unfortunately, have tarps on roofs and people living in campers. And for people that are still having issues, it could potentially be an issue. For the majority of people, it's going to be a rainy Thursday and Friday and very little.
Is it going to be a windy Thursday and Friday?
Gusty. Now,
what do you have some plans? Like what you just being prepared? Obviously, if you're in a bad situation, get yourself out of it. And you may live to 114 taking that advice. So rank that hurricane edition.
Excellent tie-in, Mr. St. Pierre.
I appreciate it.
Professional.
I'm learning from Casey.
Professional.
3 things you always take with you during hurricane evacuations. What are your top 3 things?
Okay. Box fan, because without it, I can't sleep.
Solid.
AirPods, because without it, I'm going to be bored. And the next one, sunflower seeds, I guess, because without them, I'm not surviving the drive to and from.
My 3 are PlayStation.
Yeah,
get you through the time.
That's a really good one.
My laptop, so we could do a little work. And my appetite. No time like hurricane season to put on a good Hurricane 20.
Bro, when we evacuated to Winnie, Texas for Ida, we were at a hotel that was attached to maybe the best restaurant that I've ever been at. And I literally did to Big Steve what you do at the wrestling shows. Archie's telling everybody, take your time getting back. Like, the trees are messed up. We don't have power. Remember, we didn't have water. So, like, don't be in a rush to come home because being home is pretty shit. So once we found out that the house was okay and everything was good, Big Steve was like, hey, are you ready to go back home? Like, nope. How about another 2 days in Winnie, big boy?
Yep.
So we stayed a little longer, but it's like, dude, it was freaking amazing. Having room service, eating ribeye every day. It was incredible.
Yeah, you want to come home to just sit there. We'll get into a lot of these things, so some of the memories and whatnot. But for, what was the name of that storm? Ida, right.
Ida.
My grandfather was ready to come home. I was like, "What? You can't take a bath. You can't get gas. Like, what are you gonna go do?"
Hot as
yeah,
hell.
But he likes that.
He loves,
He's all in on that. Nick, what you got? Top 3.
My top 3 things you always take with you during hurricane evacuations. I'd say my wife, my kids, and shoes, because she probably booked us a thing at Disney. We got to go.
You're going somewhere that's out of season. So y'all are going somewhere that's good.
If there's
Poland.
one out of season for Disney, it's right now when it's 1,000 degrees out there, and there's no reason for anybody with any sense to go at this point.
Tommy, what you taking?
I am taking PlayStation. I'm taking important documents such as birth certificates, house,
what a lawyer.
Documents, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
no kidding. Huh?
And I'm taking, and this is always the hardest part, picking the most important pair of shoes that are of the highest sentimental and or monetary value.
None of that occupies time. That's where I was going with the question.
I can't compete with that. I had sunflower seeds in my answer. This dude's talking about insurance documents.
Yeah, you can keep all of that.
I can't compete with that.
All right, next question. non-food related items. What are your must-haves when hunkering down, quote unquote, at home during a hurricane? When you're staying in the house, you're riding out whatever storm's coming our way.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that we're not going to have cable and electricity for a little bit. Or let's just say cable, because at our house we got the generator. My Walker Texas Ranger DVDs. We're always watching that. Me and Big Steve. Always.
I need to be a part of that.
Always.
My God.
Like, that's number one on the list.
So this is a legit thing. You really like this Chuck Norris?
Hell
Cowboy
yeah, I
guy?
like Chuck Norris. Why wouldn't I like Chuck Norris? Man, I don't even like you anymore if you don't like Chuck Norris.
Chuck's a cook.
See, that's tough now. I try to not prep myself for these because I want to react to my first instinct, and then I look like an idiot when I'm not ready to answer.
I'll go and you could think about it. Number one is a deck of cards.
That's
You could figure out 100 different games to play. Second is my whole home generator. I'm very, very spoiled, so I got to make sure I have that ready to go. And third is the old school cowboy coffee maker that you can make on a barbecue grill if you need to. That's some of the best coffee. Why I don't do that every day? Probably because it takes too damn long, but you don't need electricity. You just need some type of heat source to get that done. Number one type of coffee. When it comes to coffee, no, it's coffee maker.
Okay, but it's okay.
That's not like a snack or anything. We'll get into that later.
Understood.
Yeah, solid point.
I got to have HTV to watch Martin Falls.
The stick.
The best thing of every hurricane.
So when people call in to Martin Falls and
Martin, I'm in Montague and it's snowing. And it's probably a dude who's obviously doing cocaine at the time, and he falls for it hook, line, and sinker. Oh, hey, all right. Hey, we got a caller from Montague. What do you want to report? And then the guy starts out with some enthusiasm. Hey, Martin, how you doing? By that point, he should know to hang up. Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. It's snowing in Montague. And then you see him turn a shade of red that, got to have HTV.
I mean, pay somebody $5 an hour just to screen the call.
yeah.
And then the last thing, again, it's got to be the fan, dude. Without it, I can't sleep. I cannot sleep a second without a box fan.
100% with you on that.
I'll go with whole house generator. It's a pretty awesome thing to have around hurricane season. That's definite. Probably board games, something to do. We tend to play board games during hurricane stuff like that. And struggling on that third thing.
Tommy, what you got?
I guess since you did coffee, I'm gonna say beer alcohol because it's not really a food; it's a liquid. What I need to survive. I'm gonna need my various Ryobi machines, aka the fan, the light, the speaker, everything that takes the Ryobi batteries. And then the last thing would be all the batteries, whether it's Ryobi tool batteries, AA's, whatever I need. I'm just going to have an assload of batteries for all the
You got all the batteries?
things that I'm going to use.
I was waiting for him to stop, and I was coming out with.
Your phone chalk ass don't have a whole home generator, and me and Nick sitting here with one?
No, because honestly, I'm of the impression now if the storm's that bad and I'm leaving, we're going on vacation.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but the last one wasn't bad. We stayed, and
What you gonna do when you come back from vacation with no power?
just stay on vacation. Dude's going to Greece.
I'm gonna move to Disney World. Me.
All right, next question, and these are ranked, so I'm going to go slow and reading them. We have 6 possible topics. We're going to go 1 being the best, 6 being the least.
All right.
The most annoying hurricane season cliches. Number 1, you got to watch out for those feeder bands. That's the worst part. Number 2, this one's taking the same path as Katrina.
The Nigel model.
Number 3, I stay home for Cat 1s. Anything else, I'm gone. And I'm reading this in my DTB accent, like Brian Kelly.
Yep.
Number 4, I drink beer and laugh at that. Me. Number 5, the cone of uncertainty has shifted east. And number 6, this is going to be a very active hurricane season.
Bad weenie spaghetti model didn't make it.
I should have put that on there.
Yeah.
I should have put that.
This is going to be a very active hurricane season is the most annoying because I have conspiracy theories. I think that they name storms that shouldn't be named. I think that a lot of the stuff that is done is kind of shady. But anyway, that's number 1 for me. This one is taking the same path as Katrina is 2. The cone of uncertainty has shifted east is 3. Number 4 for me, I stay home for Cat 1s. Anything else, I'm gone. Number 5, you got to watch out for those feeder bands, bruh, because that's the worst part. And then number 6, because I don't think this is annoying at all, I drink beer and laugh at me.
You know what that's from?
No.
Oh, I'm about to pull that up.
Most annoying for me would be the cone of uncertainty. The second would be you got to watch out for those feeder bands, bruh. Third would be this is going to be a very active hurricane season.
It's going to be an above active season this year.
4 is the Katrina path. 5 is the stay home for Cat 1s. Anything else, I'm going. And 6, which would be the best, my favorite, is I drink beer and laugh at me.
I know that you guys are going to agree because we've actually chatted about this in our actual group chat. Has there ever been a storm in the history of storms that didn't have at least one spaghetti model taking it right up Bayou?
I love the ones coming right off the African coast. That a spaghetti model comes right through.
Oh, it's straight to Grand Isle.
It's like a big, long, mile-long noodle on the map.
Everything else is going to England. One just right through fucking Bayou.
Always.
That's a fact.
Always. Like, same thing as in the Caribbean, 99 models going through Mexico into Brownsville, Texas. One right up Bayou.
What's your list, Tommy?
I'm going to go number 1, cone of uncertainty. Number 2, active hurricane season. Number 3, same path as Katrina. It's almost 25 years now, 20 years. Let's move on to something. Ida's more recent, more destructive in my view. It's home, so I'm tired of hearing about Katrina. Then I'm going to go 4, feeder bands. 5, I stay home for Cat 1. Anything else, I'm gone. And the last one, because it's kind of my common attitude, I drink beer and laugh at that.
I'm going 1, the cone of uncertainty. 2, very active hurricane season. That could have been 1 or 2 for me. 3, path as Katrina. 4, Cat 1s. Anything else, I'm going. 5, you got to watch out for those feeder bands, bruh. And number 6, the favorite is going to be I drink beer and laugh at me. Couple more questions. The most questionable hurricane survival meal that you've ever eaten?
Whew.
I'm going to go any MRE. Those are super questionable. Now, I've eaten like SpaghettiOs straight out of a can, things like that. But I think those MREs probably take the cake on that.
So just to not repeat your answer, because MREs are shady and they're going to do really bad things to your insides. One time during a storm, we were picking up debris in the yard, and then I got in, drank a Gatorade, and saw that we had a can of green beans. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Opened it up, pulled out a fork, and ate a can of green beans.
God. No salt, no seasoning, nothing?
Nothing. Just
let it eat.
Raw dog. Let it eat.
Just raw dog, the can of green beans.
Get my vitamins, brother. Let's do it.
It might come off as other people's favorites, and it probably does, but potted meat. Why are we doing this? Or we're not, but I mean, I'm not. You might.
So,
but why, when a hurricane comes into the Gulf, people resort to potted meat?
Because it never will go bad.
It's not 3 years that this hurricane is going to be in the Gulf. It's literally 2 days of inconvenience, and then everything's back to normal.
Ida, we were eating potted meat for a month.
Okay, but that is an exception. This hurricane is going to be rainy for 2 days.
And to be fair, I did buy Vienna sausage today. So to your point,
why are people resorting to potted meat and Vienna sausage?
I think it's just more of a old school comfort type of feel that's what they grew up on, and it's just that's what you eat during hurricanes, or you throw during Mardi Gras parades. Underhanded.
I have a different question. Why is it that to me Vienna sausage is good, but potted meat is gross, even though it's the same thing and one of it's just smashed up?
Okay, so is that right? Potted meat is just smashed up Vienna sausage.
Texture, Tommy, I could see that because I do think Vienna sausage on like a cracker is good. I think potted meat is the most disgusting thing in the world.
This might be my number 1. Maybe not. I may shift gears. A Vienna sausage salad, like a tuna salad type of deal.
That being good, absolutely.
It's not bad. My grandfather will open a can of Vienna sausage and drink all the juice before he eats the Vienna sausage.
Yeah.
I do not wheeze the juice in Vienna sausage.
What's your shady meal, Tommy?
So this is a two-parter, and it might not be that shady. We had a hurricane. I was definitely in college, and we had a stove, so we made spaghetti noodles, like macaroni noodles, and I warmed up some of my mom's chili, trying to make it like a skyline chili kind of thing. And unbeknownst to me, so that was like a questionable one, but it actually turned out to be pretty decent for what it was. My roommate put chicken fricassee over spaghetti noodles.
Ugh.
It wasn't bad?
Somehow thought it was straight out the car that did this. And I walked in on him. I'm like, what the fuck are you eating?
Almost like
He's
a
like,
jambalaya.
what? I thought this is how you were supposed to make it. You had the spaghetti already out, and this was. I'm like, all right, bro. I couldn't bring myself to eat it, so
I would have tried that.
That was questionable to me.
Yeah,
I would have definitely.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, like to me, it's one of those things. Like if you get a bag of Doritos and it's like chocolate flavored, because I'm thinking it's going to not be right, whether it's good or not, my mind's going to tell me it's not good. You know what I'm saying?
I do have one more thing that I put in my preparation for this show. Drinking the Budweiser water out of a can. You guys remember that? That is
Katrina?
So weird.
Yeah, that's
like it had the Budweiser logo. It was a white can, and it was just canned water. But I've never drank a colder water than that. You're not going to get the same frost in a bottle that you are in a can. It was definitely weird.
Hopefully Mitch O'Dron can bring that back to us for next hurricane season.
Tommy, didn't we have some canned water? Something that we did.
Yes, we did.
I feel like we did.
I think that was it Deja Blue?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. How the hell? Oh, that was leftover from the hurricane deal. Had to be.
Brennan's got a college story of a weird, shady meal. Mixed tuna, fish, Kraft mac and cheese, and corn.
I could do that. I could definitely do that.
Josh Robert?
There's a
Super Nintendo Clifton?
There's a hamburger helper meal that has tuna and cheese in it.
Gross.
Oh, I could do that.
The corn would scare
What if Nathan's made Vienna sausage?
It would be the classiest Vienna sausage
be,
ever, and Joey Chestnut would be able to eat 15
Oh,
cans.
he would be shoving those things as well.
That's what she said.
They have flavored Vienna sausage now, like barbecue and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
It's still Vienna sausage.
What's the difference between that and the cans that are wrapped in paper, like the Devil's Ham? Like, is there any difference in between those?
Yeah, I think that's just a different brand of the same type of thing, right?
I don't know. This is a good conversation.
So here's a fun fact. The world record for eating Vienna sausages is 8.31 pounds in 10 minutes by
Joey Chestnut.
Nope, Sonia the Black Widow Thomas.
How many cans is that?
Who also owns the Acme Oyster. Oh, I don't know. I need to see a pound. What's the measurement of a can of Vienna sausages?
How many pounds?
Badlands Booker ate 7. She ate 8.31.
So, true story. I asked Joey Chestnut this when he came on the Sports Corner, but it was right around the time that they had one of the oyster eating competitions. I asked him, hey, were you good at the oyster eating thing? He said no. And I asked him why. He said, can't do the slimy texture. Makes him want to gag. He can't do it. So he is never going to be a contender in the oyster contest.
I know that girl, Sonia Widow, won it. I want to say it was like 2000 when I was in college, so maybe like 2005, 2006-ish. She did it at Acme. They had the horse shooting contest. She smoked everybody.
So if you go by drained sausage weight, that is 43 cans.
Oh,
43.
My dad did that for Hurricane 1.
Oh my!
But if you go by net weight, it's 28 cans. So if you drink in the juice, that's a lot of juice.
The fact that it's drained can weight is a designation.
Look, Tommy, I just provide the data. I'm not creating it.
43? No way. I mean, I believe the
in
stat.
10 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
10 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
Sheesh.
Taking all 6 of them and just...
Yeah, one can at a time. Gotta be.
That's insane.
Next question. What hurricane memory lives rent-free in your head? I got about 7 of these, but Hurricane Andrew, my grandfather at that time had a bar hotel, and the entire family would come. And I just remember everybody being out there. We had the old school lanterns with the gas or whatever at the bottom. It's not gas, but lantern oil. I don't remember exactly what hurricane it was, but a bunch of us got together, drove to Texas, didn't have a hotel room. We ended up staying at Tommy's apartment. That was a hell of a time. Nick, I remember we had a bunch of us went to Dallas, stayed in that hotel that had a bar and all kind of stupid stuff. And that was some hell of a time, man.
I got 4. First one, Hurricane Andrew. We're on the Florida Panhandle beaches in like Pensacola. I was a youngster. I think that was 93. So I figure I'm 6 years old. Big Steve's trying to get me to go in the water. He's had a few. He's standing there holding his can saying, look, it's not even that rough. As he says that, a tidal wave hits him and sends him underwater. Needless to say, I didn't go into the water. I'll always remember that. We'll troll him about that forever. Second thing was for Ida, and one's a little more somber. For Ida, the drive when you get off of 90 from Matthews to cut off, seeing like, crap, dude, like we just got flattened. That was not any good. For another one of the storms, I remember just during high school, it was the year of Katrina. We had Cindy that year, which hit us head on. It was a category 1, hit us head on, but it wasn't too bad. And we had a bunch of water in the area for a while. And it was in June, beginning of the hurricane season. And my buddies and I, before we went off to college, went to Richard Fisher's house and played like a mud bowl football game. And I'll always remember that. That was cool. It was like our last time playing as a group of kids before we became adults and went to college. So I'll always remember that one fondly. And then the last one was for Ida being interviewed by Fox National about Lafourche Parish. And if you Google my name, that story like comes up. Fox National did a story about Ida's devastations, and like they quote me as like, oh, like news reporter in the area, Casey Gisclair. And that was really cool. Like I'm sitting in a hotel lobby talking to like this reporter for Fox News.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's cool.
Brendan said his parents evacuated La Rose and went to Bayou Gauche for Hurricane Andrew.
I'm trying to think of that hurricane. Damien was talking about it earlier. It was probably about 2005, 2006, maybe.
Which story?
The one where we drove all the way to San Antonio and turned around and went back to Lafayette.
That was Ivan.
So I remember working a morning shift and getting off, and then we left later that night to drive all the way. We were going to find something in, I want to say it was Houston or something. And then there was nothing available in Houston, so we just kept on driving, got to San Antonio, and I'm falling asleep as I'm driving. I have Bohammer and I have Damien in my car. We put on some CD that got me pumped up. I'm banging on the top of my car to keep myself awake because it was the stupidest possible thing I can do. Made it all the way back to Tommy's apartment in Lafayette, and then I slept for like 24 straight hours. Yeah,
I remember sleeping, but I also remember partying.
Y'all went out. I was not going.
I have one more before we go to Tommy. For Katrina, we left and went to the Lake Charles area and went to the shadiest hotel imaginable. It was a hotel that was like definition of a roach motel. One of the rooms did not have a toilet, and the nice upstanding Arab gentleman came out and said, if you want room with toilet, you pay extra. Needless to say, that was not a very entertaining nor fun couple of days. It was like living in a third world country. Barely any running water. Half the rooms didn't have plumbing. But we didn't make reservations in advance. Shame on us. We should have. And we ended up staying in the hood.
I got one. And Nick, we didn't even talk about this. Obviously, Katrina took the turn at the last minute, right? Nobody's prepared. So we prepared for a weekend. And by the time Zane got out the fight, it was turning. And we were stuck in Marksville and woke up the next morning, and it was contraflow that was put into place.
Oh, geez.
No way we're getting home. We ended up in Tyler, Texas. Me, Nick, and Rocky Keefe stayed in a hotel room. Very, very similar to what you just mentioned. Probably had the time of our lives. Didn't know it at the time. We had put the comforters on the floor to stop, I don't know, for maybe bugs from getting in hot. Or whatever.
Yeah, it was big ass bugs that were getting in our room from underneath the door.
And the cleaning lady destroyed us. Do not put these on the floor. I'm pretty sure I paid for the hotel. Like, I kind of do what I want. But we watched so much Seinfeld that week, and there was this boxing sim game at the time that we played for hours and hours. I have to turn you on to that game. You just put random fights together, and kind of like that wrestling sim.
Ooh, I would love it.
And we would just make these random people like 40-0, and it was a good time. Anyway,
Counselor?
I only really have two that come to mind. One is Hurricane Andrew. We were on my grandpa's troll boat, riding the whole thing out. I think we were in the bayou. I'm not exactly sure, but I just remember.
How was that?
I just remember it was wild,
because I hear being in a boat on water is the best place to be for a hurricane.
That's what I was about to say. It's a tale that they all say, like, hey, like, what are we going to do? Float away like we're in a boat. So as long as you don't tip over, I mean, you're good to go. And then the second one, so I was in college. It was Katrina, and basically he was one of my best friends now, but he was my ex-girlfriend's brother-in-law, and he's from New Orleans. So when that happened, we were like all together watching New Orleans flood, and then he sees the inmates all on the overpass and stuff, and he's like, dude, that's where my house is. And so we had to wait for the city to open back up. And so he's freaking out. So we come down. He was like, hey, man, you mind like coming with me? It was me, him, and his actual brother-in-law. And we drove down from Lafayette to New Orleans, strapped up, not knowing what we're going to walk into, because he's going to check on his house and get stuff. Because like many people, he didn't really plan on that happening. So we roll out and we like have to go clean out his ice box. And then we hit River Ridge on the way back. Obviously a lot less fearful in River Ridge. We went clean out my mom's ice box and freezer and stuff. And that was pretty miserable. But just that kind of feeling like, oh, what are we going into? Because the jail was like right by his house on Causeway and Metternich. And that's where like the inmates were all over the news. So that just is ingrained in my head.
It's probably a legitimate thought. Like people think outside of our area, why do you stay there? Because that's some pretty traumatic stuff to have to deal with in these storms. But I guess everywhere you go, there's going to be some type of natural disaster, and not typhoon and earthquake.
Right. I guess I just blocked this out, PTSD. I was a freshman at LSU for Katrina, and they turned the PMAC into triage, and they asked, hey, do you want to volunteer? Well, yeah, sure. My first day, and granted, I didn't stay in the PMAC very long. I'm not built for this kind of stuff. My first day, I asked, as I get in, I say, hey, what's that over there? Like, they had some things stacked up. It's like, oh, yeah, that's people who didn't make it.
Oof.
Okay.
Being in that type of situation, magnified by 30, the Superdome during the aftermath of Katrina, that must have been it was chaos. But
how has there not been a Netflix documentary about that? Like
there's some on YouTube, but not like a highly promoted one.
Like 72 hours in the dome, the Hurricane Katrina. So, dude, that's my God. You're right. The stories that I'm sure can be told.
Some pretty good conversation. What is the loudest hurricane you remember experiencing?
Cindy, the one we were just talking about. We stayed. That was 2005. And for those of you who know where I live, it's West 54th all the way in the back. But there used to be way more trees. It's been cleared out now. The land is much more clear. But I remember laying in my bed and hearing the snap of a tree breaking, and then hearing the sound of it falling, and just wondering, like, hey, is this one going through our roof or not? And they had a couple of them that, if not for not breaking all the way, would have hit our roof. And then after that, Big Steve cleared out the whole, like, everything. There's no trees anymore. That was the most frightened that I've been. And frankly, it's PTSD now, to the point where anything that is even remotely threatening, I get out. I don't want to deal with it. I like having air conditioning and Wi-Fi. I'm just...
Yeah, you usually the first one going, like, out of the whole town.
100%. Like... might be evacuating after we get out of here for this.
Casey, we have a whole home generator between my house and Nick's house, so feel free. What was the last storm we had that went up to a category 2? I can't remember. I can't remember these freaking names yet. Francine. So that was the first time I've experienced a hurricane in this house. Not used to the creaks and the noises and whatnot. That was the loudest hurricane. Now, look, we had some wind on the back end of that storm. One of those feeder bands, bro. It was bad. And it was pretty interesting. I haven't really stayed during some crazy storms. Obviously, stayed during Andrew was probably the worst one. But as a dad with 2 girls that are scared of their own shadow, having to comfort them and say, look, this is normal. This is what happens in these things. It was an interesting experience for sure. But that was probably the loudest storm that I've dealt with.
I don't do that stuff, man. What's yours?
For me, what was the one a couple years ago? I think it might have been a 1 Zeta. I was thinking Alpha Omega. Well, it ripped apart our carport, and I could hear the carport like slamming on the cement, or the sound of it ripping was bad. but the constant banging of it hitting something was pretty bad. My truck's under there, Claire's vehicle's underneath there, and I'm thinking in my head, I probably should go get our vehicles out of that situation. This is in probably the eye of the storm. Oof. And Victor tells a pretty good story about this. He's freaking out that I'm just out. He says I was trying to fix the carport. And I was trying to just like pull up our cars a little bit so it's not getting hit. I just didn't think our car staying there was a good idea. So I was going to try to pull them up further onto the cement or whatever. And Victor tells a pretty good story that he thought I was out there trying to repair the carport in the eye of the storm.
Nick's a hero now.
Did y'all have bad damage?
The carport was completely uprooted from the ground, and we got it fixed. And then Ida did the same thing, and then we actually got somebody to build like a legit wooden mega structure out there of a carport. So.
I believe this was August 2001, one of the loudest pops ever, when Hurricane Helms debuted.
Oh, listen
Probably
to this guy.
Stands out in my memory because it's one of the greatest gimmicks and theme songs of my childhood.
I don't disagree with that.
He beat The Rock clean.
I think he debuted on the ring posts when it's a jury match or something, but then the first time his music hit and people realized that he was changing gimmicks and he was a real life superhero at Titantron. That was awesome.
Stand back.
He wrestled in Homer during a hurricane.
Right before a hurricane.
Yeah. Biggest heel in the freaking company right there. All right, last question. Going back to positivity because I knew we share a lot of stuff, which was pretty cool. What's the coolest thing about our community after hurricane passes?
The fact that people that usually bitch about everything stop bitching about everything and just get done. We don't wait for, daddy government to come and save the day. We're going to just go and drive to Texas and get the pallets of water. We just make stuff happen here versus other places. So for me, it's seeing truly how the people in our area just don't take no for an answer. Just waiting till tomorrow is not good enough. We're going to do it today. And someone always has a truck or a trailer or whatever it may be willing and ready to send it across the country if need be to get shit to help our area.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest times that people come together. It could be for a week, could be for 2 weeks, could be somebody that you really despise, but you're still going to help them out. I was lucky, and I'm talking extremely lucky, to not have any damage in this past storm. The one before last, sorry. I don't know the names, but
Zeta.
We were staying in, no, what was a really bad one?
Ida.
Yeah, we were staying in Texas. Ended up having a coworker of mine invite my family to his house, and he didn't really know he doesn't know the area. He didn't know the damage, but they had just been through Laura, I believe, in the Lake Charles area. So wanted to help. Him and I trekked every day from Jennings, Louisiana to La Rose just to come help out. Cleaned up my house, cleaned up my grandparents' house, and then just went to work. We went work with Bless Your Heart, went work around the neighborhood, whoever needed that help. It's always a good feeling when people come together for the greater cause. And even if you don't necessarily enjoy being around certain people, you still, for that time frame, you're still going to help them out.
100%.
I think our community, if the storms doesn't affect us that much and it affects Baton Rouge or somewhere else, I feel like our community is always the first community to respond.
Yep.
That we will organize something, we'll get stuff together, and we will go out there and we'll distribute, we'll do whatever we can as a community to help them out. And I know when we have stuff like that, there's always people coming from all over the place doing the same thing for us. I think Louisiana as a whole, the best thing about it is if it doesn't affect you, you understand how it's affecting somebody else, and you are probably going to be the first ones to come around. And Brendan had a good comment in the chat, said our first responders forget our job titles and we just do whatever needs to be done.
100%.
Sheriff's office, fire district, etc.
To Nick's point, whenever Baton Rouge was going through that flooding, Casey, actually, you and your brother, and I don't remember who else, we took a truckload of supplies, and then we ended up making a whole effort out of it with Dustin Adams and AM Supply. We were going down there a couple of times a week and just going to help people out, and they were very thankful.
Me and Mott drove up there together with y'all. We had our own little trailer.
It's pretty cool.
For Ida, while in Winnie, Texas, I started a GoFundMe and got relatives involved who were, in outside of the area, and raised $12,000. just sitting in a hotel room. And what we used it, underprivileged people who needed to stay in hotel rooms for an extended period of time. Like, hey, send me your receipts, invoices, whatever. I got you. Where else in the world would that happen?
Yep.
Like nowhere else. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Tom, you got some, or are you sticking with Hurricane Helms?
Yeah, it's kind of the things y'all said, but just particularly the resilience, the ingenuity, the determination that nobody's going to tell us what to do and how to help people and do what needs to be done. It's just coming together, no matter what walk of life you're from. And particularly, I guess the thing that I think is coolest about DTV is dealing with like the food preparation. So whether it's catering these drive-through food, these food serving things, whether it's people like all the commercial fishermen, the trawlers, they're sparing ice. People are coming to their boats to pick up ice, or they have shrimp, or just something as small as, even though it's when you're losing power and going through something like that, but it's not that bad. There's always that badass food in your mom or your grandma's freezer that just seems to come out because, hey, we got to use it before it goes bad. So
yep.
That's just some of my coolest things. Other people might be struggling around the nation who really aren't hurricane equipped. We turn it into something positive, and we're like feasting and almost embracing, hey, we're cooking on the stove, or we're barbecuing every day, and making something out of nothing, so to speak, as long as our situations aren't that dire. But if they are dire, then we're giving that steak to the people that need it. Or, this gumbo is getting defrosted and served to a family of 5 who lost their entire freaking home.
Hell yeah.
Even though our number one fan, Marcus, complains about post-hurricane jambalaya, it's still an awesome thing. And Tommy, we didn't mention the last hurricane relief effort that we participated in. We got to meet Bobby Hebert.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Impromptu meeting of the masses, and the only person that could have drove the wrong way down the supply lane. So we are very appreciative.
Think about that, though, for a second. Okay, so for Ida, the LSU football team with Coach O came, brought supplies, Bobby J.
We had a cardboard cutout of Bobby Hebert at the event, and then he ends up showing up. It was pretty cool.
So thanks to everybody for listening to our group chat podcast. Hope everybody stays safe, stays dry. Don't do anything stupid on the roads. Look, Bob Breck said it best on his blog. He said, this storm is not going to be an issue unless if you do something stupid to make it an issue. Very well said, Mr. Breck. I think
it was Brennan that said that.
So for Damien to my left, Nick to my right, Tommy on the phones, I'm Casey Gisclair. You guys have a tremendous rest of the week. Thanks for listening to the Group Chat Podcast. Adios.